I know another, a TV guy. We're both TV guys now, I guess. So we're kind of in the same industry. Yep. Keith Olbermann took.
I do the same thing as Keith Olbermann now.
We'll see him at the happy hour that we all have for TV people.
The TV happy hour.
So the survey that the Twins sent out last week tried to get a gauge on the season ticket holders, and I think also the group season ticket buyers.
Yeah.
So I got it as the Twins Daily when we did the pub crawl. We did 40, 100 tickets, and they sent us that email survey, and it was the first reaction. And the biggest question that came out of it that everybody's seen is the car question, right? Where it said, "What kind of car would the Twins brand be?" And it was great to good cars is what Keith Olbermann put out.
It would be like if I walked into if I came up, do you think I most look like Brad Pitt or George Clooney? Like, you look like a foot. Like, the only options were really good things.
Heather, how's the sex at home? Is it really great or super awesome?
Right.
Which one was it last night?
Pick one.
Yeah.
There was no write-in vote. You couldn't.
No.
You couldn't pick your own for humor's sake.
So, obviously, Olbermann pointed that out because it is absurd.
Right.
And then, the Twins president, Dave St. responded in kind of a brash way, I'd say, of saying, hey, we got it.
Right.
We know marketing. This is completely what marketing people do.
Right. But the thing that bugged me about it is I've seen this quote from him in a few different places. He keeps calling it the on-field product as though that's different from other parts of the product.
And you don't think it is?
I think it was when Target Field opened. Now it is, your product is your team, and the team is not good. Like, Target Field in 2010 could absorb a bad team. That place would have sold out for a year with a bad team.
Sold out for 2 years, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
And now people aren't going to Target Field to go to Target Field anymore. It's not like Wrigley where you get people going there every day.
Woo!
Right. It's not... I'm not willing to go down there and spend $8 on beer and $12 on a burger and $20 to park for the product that they're putting out there right now. When they try to separate that's what that kind of a question is. It's like, well, yeah, but we know the on-field product isn't great, but what about all the other stuff? Like, here, shiny object over here. That's kind of what that felt like. And if they would worry more about the on-field product, everything else takes care of itself. And I sent this to you in a text. If they're taking care of everything else and the on-field product still sucks, that's not going to lift. That's not going to lift people's perception of the brand.
And my point too, last week I tweeted this out, was that Oakland Coliseum is one of the biggest shit boxes in all of sports.
Right.
And they're winning, and they got a great fan base that show up that kind of are almost soccer fan-ish with their cheers and their they get to hang signs.
Right, and they dress up.
I can't see Target Field allowing any of that.
Right. It's a little too corporate.
Between me and Clarence Swamptown, we said, hey, let's turn the overhang into the big party section, huh?
Right.
Let all the jagoffs do whatever they want out there.
Right. Take away the seats. Make it a standing room only party.
And I think that's, hey, Twins marketing department, go ahead and write those ideas down.
Get a DJ.
DJ it up. Yeah.
Turn it into little envelopes of every Pop and Molly.
Make it a party bus that doesn't move.
Right.
I think that would be the way to go about it.
It would be the MTC sponsored party bus that doesn't move, and it would be a little bit too corporate. And
yeah, they'd have a name for it. You're right.
There's nothing organic about Target Field. Like at the Metrodome, there was the guy who had the Frankie Sweet Music Viola sign that he painted on a sheet that he brought for every year he was there, and then he brought it to when they put him in the Twins Hall of Fame. Like that was organic. You can't bring signs to Target Field anymore. It's really nice. It's awesome. It's way better than the Metrodome, but the fanhood isn't organic. There's no everything feels very planned out.
Well, you'd cover up a piece of advertising with that,
right?
And the Metrodome, so they had that in the mid '90s, and at some point in the late '90s, early 2000s, they put the electronic sign ring around the second deck.
Yeah.
And then you couldn't put signs up anymore.
Right.
So,
and let's not be. It's not like advertising at baseball is anything new. Every time you see a stadium shot in the 1920s, there's old cigarettes that you've never heard of before.
Hit the bowl, get a steak.
Right, win a steak. Right. Like, people have been advertising at stadiums for as long as there have been stadiums. But it felt like, at least at the Metrodome, at some point there was some organic, like, fans would go there and you could be a smartass and have a funny sign. Now you can't.
But I think that's just any sport in general. I bet if you go to any of the new stadiums, there is that element to it.
Right.
And that's just the way it's going to be.
Right. you get your stadium, you kind of lose a little bit of your soul.
So that's some off-field stuff. And to your point, I think the operation side of baseball is not talking to the marketing side of the Twins.
Right.
You know, I mean, there's no like, hey, are you going to get a good player so we can market him out? It's
right.
more of a, well, we got Perkins signed. Why don't you advertise him a little
right.
bit, put him on the tickets?
Right. I mean, I get it. You got to market. Here's what you got to sell. You got to sell tickets. You got to sell advertising. But it feels like the again, they're trying to separate what they're putting on the field from what they're selling. Like that, they're acting like that's a part of it. What part of it they think it is up in the air. I think it's now that Target Field is the shine is worn off. I think the on-field product is 95% of what they're selling.
And to Olbermann's point, it was like, look, you're not going to get the right response or any correct response out of just having the list of things that you had there.
Right.
You need to get the whole thing if you really want feedback
right.
from fans.
Yeah, like that should be a blank question. What kind of car brand do you think we are right now? Mm-hmm. Here's an essay box. Go ahead.
Yeah.
There you go. And then have 20 interns sit and wonder if they want to actually give you the results. You sure you want to know about this?
I'm going to have to go back to St. Cloud State now, aren't I?
I'm pretty young, but I don't know what an Edsel is, but people keep saying that. You guys are an Edsel.